What's going on, everybody? Mr. Jacob here. Today's video is about converting fractions to decimals. Converting fractions to decimals. And it's super simple. The concept is super simple. So we've got a couple fractions listed here. We've got 3/4, 5/8, 2/3, and 4/11. We're going to convert all of those to decimals, and I'm going to show you how. So first let's take a look at the fraction 3/4. So one thing that we can do is think about this 3/4 as a division problem, which it is. All fractions can be expressed as a division problem. So let's rewrite this 3/4 as a division problem. So 3/4 is equal to 3 divided by 4. And then we can also write that like this as well. 3 divided by 4. And that's what we're going to do here. We're going to divide the numerator by the denominator, and that is going to give us the decimal form of this fraction. So let's take a look. Immediately we run into a problem, right? 4 does not go evenly into 3. That's why it's a fraction that's less than 1. So 4 goes into 3 0 times, so we write that 0 there. So we're going to have to add some zeros as placeholders here, and we can do that as long as we put this decimal point here. And then the decimal point in the quotient goes directly above the decimal point in the dividend. So 4 does not go into 3 evenly, but it does go into 30. It does go into 30 evenly. So 4 goes into 30 7 times. 7 times 4 is 28. We're going to ignore this decimal point for now and say 30 minus 28 is equal to 2. So then, just like our regular long division, we are going to bring down this 0, and we're left with 20. 4 goes into 20 exactly 5 times, and that's going to give us a remainder of 0. A remainder of 0, and we didn't need this last 0 here. So that tells us that the fraction 3/4 is equal to 0.75 in decimal form. All right, let's try a more complex example here. Let's try the fraction 5/8. So we'll give a little bit more room down here. We'll do 5/8 this time. So we remember that 5/8 can be rewritten as 5 divided by 8, or can be rewritten like this, 5 divided by 8. So 8 does not go into 5, so we have a 0 there, and we need to add some zeros as placeholders here. I'll extend that. And the decimal point will go directly above the decimal point in the dividend. So 8 does not go into 5, but it does go into 50. In fact, it goes into 50 6 times. 6 times 8 is 48. 50 minus 48 is 2. Bring down our 0. We get 20. 8 goes into 20 twice. 2 times 8 is 16. We subtract and we get 4. Bring down our 0. And this is looking good because 8 goes into 40 exactly 5 times. So 5 times 8 is 40. And we're left with a remainder of 0. So 5/8 is equal to the decimal 0.625. And that's our answer there. So that's one type of decimal. That's what's called a terminating decimal, because we end with a remainder of 0 and our decimal point ends. It terminates. So that's what's called a terminating decimal. So we're going to look at a couple different kinds of decimals here next. So I will erase this stuff so I have more room to write. All right. So now we're going to look at the fraction 2/3. So 2/3, same process here. 2/3 equals 2 divided by 3. And we rewrite that like this, 2 divided by 3. So again, 3 does not go into 2, so we add our 0, and we add our decimal point. We can add a couple zeros over here for now. 3 goes into 20 6 times. 6 times 3 is 18. Again, we ignore this decimal point here. That doesn't matter for the purpose of dividing. 20 minus 18 is 2. We bring down our 0 and we get 20 again. So let's do it one more time. 3 goes into 20 6 times again. 6 times 3 is 18. We subtract, and this is going to continue on forever, right? We are never going to get anything different here. We could do this as long as we want. So this is what we call a repeating decimal. We're going to get as many 6s here as the 6 is going to go on forever. So this is what's called a repeating decimal. So 2/3 is equal to 0.6 repeating. And the way we express that is with this little line that goes above the repeating part. So we have terminating decimals and we have repeating decimals. This is what's called a repeating decimal. All right, one more. We're going to do the fraction 4/11 now. So I will, I'll erase that so we have more room. All right. 4/11. 4/11 is equal to 4 divided by 11. And we'll rewrite that like this. 11 does not go into 4, but it does go into 40. So we'll write our 0 with our decimal. 11 goes into 40 3 times. 3 times 11 is 33. We get a 7 here. We add a 0 and bring down the 0. 11 goes into 70 6 times. 6 times 11 is 66. And we subtract and we get 4. And we're back to 40. 11 goes into 40 3 times. 3 times 11 is 33. We subtract and we get 7 again. And this pattern is going to continue forever. Again, we have 6, 66, subtract and get 4. This pattern here is going to continue forever. This is going to repeat 3, 6, 3, 6, 3, 6 forever. So we can say that 4/11 is equal to 0.36 repeating. And this, it's very important that you know that this bar, this bar that indicates the repeating decimal, goes over everything that repeats. So that can be 1, 2, 3, as many numbers as we have a repeating pattern. The bar goes over all of them. So for example, if we have the decimal 0.83 repeating, this 3 is the only thing that repeats. We've got 1 8 here, so this would be 0.8333333, right? Forever. That's different than if we were to write 0.83 repeating like that. This one means that the 8 and the 3 alternate and repeat forever. So this is equal to 0.838383, right? So that's an important distinction to make. And that is how to convert fractions into decimals. Thanks for watching.